Gosh, it's like cake. This is bad. Here, it's kind of a little bit warpy. I love all the time-lapse videos. I don't like being in the time-lapse. I just like watching the time-lapse. So today I wanted to show you how I made a giant sword. I've always wanted to make a giant sword as of 3 days ago. I saw this guy Kyle on YouTube making a sword from Berserk. Also, don't know if I'm saying that right. I apologize in advance for anything that I say wrong or if I offend anyone. I'm already doing this gladiator shoot and I was like, oh my gosh, let me make my life harder. Taking what he made and then making it my own, aka what corners can I cut? So that's what this is.
I made a giant spool for another shoot, so I decided to reuse and recycle. Next, I got 3 containers of lightweight drywall, so we acquired the stick, the drywall, some plastic wrap for the mess that's about to happen, and 3 cardboard boxes.
I can make 5 12 by 60 pieces with these. But now I'm realizing that I might have to go potentially buy another one.
I don't know why I spoke that into existence because yes, I did have to go back out and get different material. I had to measure out 3 layers on each side, so 7 total pieces including the center layer. Enjoy this little diagram that I made. This cutting out each layer was so silly of me because I feel like I chose the hardest way to do this.
So buying cardboard boxes was the absolute wrong move. I went to Michael's and I bought 3 boards. If I tape this will stay. I only have 3 layers of this. You see that? That's 2 layers that are folded in on each other. They bend. You gotta watch this in a time lapse. I have to do this in real time. I'm always like, oh, I love all the time lapse videos. I love all the time lapse videos. I don't like being in the time lapse. I just like watching the time lapse.
I had a whole night of this and I just kept messing up the top part of the sword. Just cut it correctly. Literally just measure it out and cut it correctly. The room was a mess. After all of that, the next morning, everything had dried with hot glue and I was really feeling the sword. I started cutting out the place where the stick was supposed to go so I could actually hold it correctly. I felt like this project was actually going the way I wanted it to go. Yes, it's not perfect by any means, but it's what I made.
I've been watching. Look at this. Look at that. This is how they hold. See how they hold it? Like this. Yeah. Very beautiful. Look how gorgeous. This thing is huge. This thing is wow. I know this is not very even. I recommend not doing what I did, which was kind of half-assing it. I was like, oh, I can just like, so like right here, it's kind of a little bit warpy. And then right here, I do think this side is a little bit better, but then I still had to put one more on. Come on, we're going by. I have to leave in 2 hours, so I'll spray paint later. Now it's time to put this down, cover my room, and drywall plaster.
If you have ever wanted to feel like a little TikToker who does those videos with a little Reddit story voiceover, this is what you need to do. I felt like a little cake decorator. I have never professionally made a cake, but this is what I imagine they feel like.
Oh my gosh, it's like cake. Oh, this is fun. This is really fun.
I bought this drywall because it said it would dry fast. It did not dry fast. I had to redo so many spots on the sword before we left. I was under the impression that drywall dries fast. Who knew? Anyway, enjoy this time lapse. I will say I did enjoy this part the most until the drywall started to annoy me because it did not dry fast. I ended up spray painting in the desert because you guessed it, the drywall finally dried. And yeah, this is how the photo shoot went and this is how the photos turned out. I'm trying to post more behind the scenes on all of our photo shoots. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and follow. You can check out more shoots always on Insta and TikTok.